BrightSideBen.com.
Good morning. Greetings, friends. It's that time again. Welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and your vitality, your well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call this healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we welcome your phone calls on the Bright Side. Our number 855-660-4261. That's 855-660-4261. If you have questions about the longevity products or you want to contribute to the conversation, or if you have a success story, we love hearing success stories, you can give us a call at 855-660-4261. If you want to join the Brightside Ben team and start yourself a longevity business, make some money selling longevity products and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program, or if you just want to get your products at the wholesale price for a one-time $10 fee, you can start your own business. They can tell you all about it on the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. 866-735-2470. You can also click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at BrightSideBen.com. And I also encourage you all to check out my blog, PharmacistBen.com, which we update regularly. Got a post up there on iodine that I did yesterday. I'm going to be talking about iodine a little bit on Alex's show, on the Alex Jones show, later today for you guys who are listening in on AJ, listening in to AJ. I'll be doing that, I think, the 12 o'clock hour, 12 o'clock Mountain Time. All right, we are talking peptides, those little tiny pieces of protein that are produced in response to genetic changes. Peptides and DNA go together, genetics if you prefer. How this whole thing happens, how peptides are made out of in response to genetics is really, really, really amazing biochemistry. I'm not going to get into it too much, but man, is it... Did you ever wonder how this whole thing happens, how genetics, how pieces of information, which are nothing more than just chemicals, somehow communicate to other chemicals to make peptides and make cells, make all the things that cells do? It's so unbelievable, and it just goes over our heads, and we go about our daily business, we go about our lives, and these miracles are happening trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of times. Every nanosecond is all happening literally under our noses at the genetic level. It is absolutely mind-blowing when you kind of think about it, how we exist, how our bodies make things based on little tiny pieces of protein that we call DNA. You know, by the way, you've got 80 billion miles of DNA in your body. 80 billion miles? This is phenomenal. This is ridiculous, crazy. And all of this has to do with how, all the DNA activity has to do with how the body makes peptides, makes proteins. That's what DNA does. That's what genetics does. It makes peptides, makes proteins. Bottom line here is peptides are important molecules. They're command molecules. They're signaling molecules. They sit on top of a little opening on the cell, and they initiate chemical reactions just by sticking or by inserting themselves into these receptor sites in this lock and key kind of fashion, or plug and socket kind of fashion. Peptides make things happen. Peptides make things happen, and this is what it's all about. Peptides inside the body make things happen, and as we were talking yesterday, peptides on top of the body, on the skin, can make things happen as well. That's what makes peptides such important skincare ingredients. You can actually put a peptide on top of your skin, and it will migrate down into the active levels underneath the surface. And just like peptides inside the body will make things happen, peptides on top of the skin will make things happen. Peptides work on top of the skin like they work inside the skin, and this makes them very important as skincare ingredients, and it also makes them very troublesome for the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA, which is charged with regulating cosmetics and regulating skincare products, really doesn't like the idea that you can put something on top of the skin and create changes in the skin, and in fact in the very genetics of the skin. Traditionally, skincare and skincare products and skincare ingredients were looked on by the FDA and by medical professionals as being kind of baloney, kind of silly. They were considered to be just superficial and cosmetic, and maybe they could coat your skin a little bit, or maybe they could create artificial fake changes involving color changes or tone changes, maybe covering up fine lines or covering up blemishes, not really creating changes in moisturizing or softening or changing the health of the skin, but more like putting some kind of coating on the surface of the skin to create a perception of change. This is how cosmetics was traditionally looked at by the Food and Drug Administration and by medical professionals, as just a superficial kind of thing that would create a perception of change, maybe a perception of youthfulness and vitality, maybe a perception of moisturization, but not really doing anything. Maybe filling in fine lines with powder or silicone, not really eliminating fine lines or wrinkles, but superficially covering up fine lines and wrinkles. But all that changed with the development of peptides, which was, as we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, are really, really active. Peptides in skincare can be really effective ingredients. Remember, peptides have a hormone-like effect. And when you use a peptide in a skincare product, you're essentially putting a hormone-like substance on your skin. And this blurs the traditional line between superficial, tactile kinds of ingredients that feel good, make you feel like something's happening, and real biochemically active, almost drug-like ingredients, almost pharmaceutical ingredients that can change cells' behavior, skin cells' behavior, at the very genetic level. Skincare chemists call these kinds of ingredients that straddle the fine line between cosmetics and pharmaceuticals cosmeceuticals. Cosmeceuticals are these ingredients that can act like a drug, like a pharmaceutical, but you can still buy them like a cosmetic. And the FDA hates these. First real cosmeceutical ingredient was retinoic acid. We've talked a lot about that one. Retin-A is the product, the main product that contains retinoic acid. These days there's a few other products that contain retinoic acid. Retinoic acid, or Retin-A, is really just a topical form of vitamin A, and it was considered to be the first cosmeceutical ingredient when it came out in the 1970s. We've talked a lot in the past about retinoic acid. I'm not really going to get into it now, except to say that it is a really, really powerful cosmeceutical ingredient. In my opinion, everyone over the age of 35 or 40 should be using retinoic acid on a regular basis. The next great class of cosmeceuticals is the peptides. And there's three different types of topical skincare peptides. You've got peptides that act like hormones, signaling peptides, and these are peptides that sit on top of a cell, a skin cell. I'm talking here now peptides that you put on top of your skin. There's three main types of skincare peptides. One, you put on top of your skin and it acts like a signaling peptide. It'll actually initiate chemistry inside a cell. The second class works with muscles and nerves in the skin. You can put this ingredient on, I'll tell you what this is here in a little bit. You can put this ingredient on top of your skin. It will actually relax muscles and nerves and reduce the appearance of wrinkles. The most famous of these is called SNAP-8 or argireline. We'll get to this in a second here. The third kind of peptide is a carrier peptide that delivers things into a cell. And this was all the rage back in the 1990s. Some of you may have heard of something called copper peptides. Copper peptides were the first of these carrier peptide types of ingredients. I remember trying to formulate with copper peptides back in the 90s, but there were all these patent issues, and there was only one lab that was licensed to have copper peptides. These days you could find copper peptides pretty much a lot of different places. You can get them on the internet. Look up copper peptides. All right. Got more to talk about here when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Our number's 855-660-4261. Got more good health information coming at you right after this. Don't go away.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs knows the importance of proper digestion.
Make sure you take a look at the Ultimate Enzyme product. They're made with bile salts and fat digestion enzymes and protein digestive enzymes. And not only do the Ultimate Enzymes give you obvious benefits for digestion, but they can also help keep your blood flowing through your circulatory system. As most of you probably know by now, thick, sludgy, clotting blood is a serious risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Clearly, inappropriate and excessive blood clotting is a major health issue, and thick, sludgy blood is not just about heart health either. Sludgy blood can compromise oxygenation and nutrient delivery to all your cells and tissues and organs and ultimately lead to almost any health issue you can name.
Concerned about proper digestion and heart health? Order Ultimate Enzymes by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realists, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30%, while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well. Free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
To thank you for being a loyal listener, we have a limited time freebie offer for you. Claim your free heirloom tomato seeds, just pay shipping, right now at 123freeseeds.com. These aren't ordinary seeds. These are heirloom, non-genetically modified super seeds that are open pollinated and can be grown, harvested, and replanted endlessly. These survival seeds are actually more valuable than gold in a crisis. Go to 123freeseeds.com and you can get an airtight storage packet of 150 super seeds free while supplies last to say thank you for being a loyal listener. First come, first served. Just cover shipping. Go to 123freeseeds.com now to see if your free heirloom seeds are still available. That's 123freeseeds.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
Are you tired of searching for great talk radio?
Something more important.
Search no more. We are the GCN Radio Network.
All right, we're back on the bright side. Thank you for being here, friends. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. If you miss a program, you can get them all up there. brightsideben.com. There's, I don't know, got to be a couple hundred hours of good health information. brightsideben.com. You can also check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, for you guys who want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us recommend or that you hear us talk about on the program. You can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can check out our shopping cart at brightsideben.com and make sure you take a look at the Beyond Tangy Tangerine multivitamin mineral complex powder. You add to water and drink. It's a great source of the B complex as well as fatty vitamins and minerals. It tastes great. It's $50 a canister. And most folks will notice results within 1 or 2 doses beyond Tangy Tangerine, and now beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com. Okay, so we're talking about peptides and skincare, topical peptides, putting peptides on top of the skin. There's 3 main types. You've got the hormone-like peptides that actually initiate or activate chemical reactions in the skin. You've got the neuromuscular peptides. These are peptides that relax nerves in the face and can relax wrinkles. And then you've got carrier peptides, peptides that can deliver things into cells, actually deliver them into cells. And copper peptides are the most famous of those. Peptide products first came out in the late 1990s. The very first peptide ingredient, topical peptide ingredient that kind of revolutionized the whole world of skincare, really. Until peptides came out, there were only a couple of really active ingredients, including vitamin A. When peptides came out, it sort of changed everything, changed the whole game. The first one was called palmitoyl pentapeptide. That's just a fancy name that means 5 amino acids. Pentapeptide. Whenever you're looking at a peptide in a skincare ingredient, you'll see 2 parts. You'll see a fatty part, and then you'll see the actual peptide part. So you'll see something like palmitoyl pentapeptide, which is a fancy way of saying 5 amino acids, pentapeptide, stuck to a palm acid, a fatty acid. So you always have a fatty acid. That improves the ability of the peptide to get underneath the surface of the skin. Peptides don't work on the surface of the skin. They got to get underneath. And so they'll always stick, ingredient manufacturers will always stick a fatty piece onto that peptide. So this stuff, palmitoyl pentapeptide, the very first peptide that came out, it was called a brand name Matrixyl. Some of you may have heard of Matrixyl, which to this day is the gold standard of peptide skincare ingredients. Matrixyl is a hormone-like peptide, a signaling-type peptide that is part of a whole family of peptide called matrikines. Matrikines. Kines. Whenever you hear the word kines, as in cytokines, K-I-N-E-S, you never hear the suffix, the ending of a word kines, that means movement, like kinetic or kinesthetic. K-I-N-E means movement. Cytokines, some of you may have heard of these, are the classic kind of movement-initiating peptide. Cytokines are one of the ways the immune system mobilizes cells. Cytokines call white blood cells into action to the point of invasion. Cytokines, by their ability to stimulate the movement of cells, are a direct cause of not only the immune system activation, but also inflammation and allergies and toxicity. Toxins like gluten and refined carbohydrates and sugar, they act to turn on inflammation via stimulating cytokines. Some of you may have heard of something called interleukins. They'll use interleukins to treat cancer. They'll use interleukins to treat psoriasis. They'll use interleukins to treat immune diseases. Interleukins are nothing more than cytokines. They're peptides that call the immune system into action. If you have cancer and they give you an interleukin or a cytokine, they'll inject it into you. That's a chemical that will call the immune system cells into action to help fight and destroy tumors. Cytokines, some of the cytokines can destroy tumors. Matrixyl is also a type of kine, but instead of stimulating movement, it turns on the production of molecules inside a cell. And these molecules have the effect of thickening the dermis, thickening the skin, thickening the matrix, hence the name matrikines. These are molecules that initiate the movement of substances that can give you a nice thicker skin. Matrixyl thickens the skin matrix. The matrix of the skin, the underneath part of the skin, the so-called dermis of the skin, is where the action is. When we look at each other's skin, we see the surface, but the real action is going on in the bottom layer of the skin, which is called the dermis. In fact, 90% of our skin is located in this kind of thick area underneath the surface. When we look at an older person's skin and we see it's kind of thin and kind of flabby and kind of loose, what you're looking at is a breakdown in this dermis area. The dermis, by the way, is called connective tissue. Past we've talked about raisins and bread, how the body is made up of raisins and bread. Well, the dermis is the bread, largely. And when you use Matrixyl, you get thicker bread. And that means thicker, healthier, more beautiful, more youthful, healthier looking skin. Beefy, fleshy, robust skin. Matrixyl is a matrikine instead of a cytokine. It works on the matrix. It doesn't work on cells. Matra refers to the skin matrix, which is the part of the skin that makes our skin look young and beautiful and well-nourished. Matrikines and matrixyl turn on the production of molecules that show up at the end of the day as collagen and elastin and polysaccharides like hyaluronic acid that fatten and nourish the dermis. And remember, that's the part that's going to thin and break down as we get older. The most amazing thing to me about matrixyl is that it really works. And I'm telling you, folks, I've been doing skincare now since 1983. And when you find an ingredient that really works, that's a rare thing, and that's something that you want to be using on a regular basis. In fact, matrixyl works so well that the company that makes the stuff, a French company called Sederma, they have to limit how much individual skincare companies can buy. They won't sell a lot of matrixyl because this stuff is so precious. I formulated a lot of products with matrixyl, and I consider it to be one of the most important skincare ingredients you can use. It's basically the gold standard of skincare peptides, and if you want to use a peptide-containing skincare product, you'd be pretty smart to look for matrixyl. If you don't see the word matrixyl, look for palmitoyl pentapeptide. Actually, palmitoyl pentapeptide 5. I know that sounds like a big word, and you know what? We got to get over these intimidation factor with these big words in chemistry, because skincare manufacturers and nutritional companies and drug companies too, they take advantage of the fact that we are intimidated by chemistry. They take advantage of the fact that we're intimidated by long chemical words. That's why you'll see on the ingredient decks of some of these skincare products that you could spend $50, $100, $200 for, you'll see these long, intimidating chemical terms, and most people just don't even want to look at them. Well, the fact that we are so intimidated by chemistry really works against us, and it allows these companies, skincare companies, drug companies, nutritional companies, to sometimes take advantage of us. So it's really, really important, if we're going to be able to leverage and take advantage and to exploit some of these ingredients for our benefit, that we really start to understand not only how to pronounce these things, not only how to read these things, but what they actually do. So matrixyl, you might not see the name matrixyl on a skincare product. Matrixyl, by the way, is how that's spelled. But you want to look for something called palmitoyl pentapeptide. You may see the number 5 after there. And by the way, palmitoyl is spelled Palmitoyl, palmitoyl pentapeptide 5. Or matrixyl. Stuff can noticeably increase skin thickness. It can noticeably improve the appearance of the skin, and it doesn't take very long. You can get benefits in 3 or 4 weeks. One study found that, this is really interesting, collagen could be increased by 117%. Another found that collagen synthesis could be increased by over 300%, 320%. This is pretty amazing for a topical skincare ingredient. All right, got more to say about peptides and skincare, and we'll take your phone calls as well when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this.
The National Preppers and Survivalist Expo, presented by Triton Shelter Technologies, is the only national event designated for the prepper community. October 19th and 20th at the North Atlanta Trade Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Admission is free, and the doors open at 9 a.m. Join us and learn life-saving tips that can help you and your family handle crisis situations. Special guests include Kevin O'Brien from Nat Geo's Doomsday Preppers, David Crawford, author of Lights Out, the director and cast members from the movie Lights Out Saga, and more. Special guest speakers include GCN's own Dr. Joel Wallach, along with Dr. Bones, Nurse Amy, and Tom Martin, the director of the American Preppers Network, 2-time Field and Stream champion Chad Weatherford, along with many other leading experts from around the country. Join us for the country's largest emergency preparedness event, absolutely free, October 19th and 20th at the North Atlanta Trade Center in Atlanta, Georgia. For more information, visit npsexpo.com. That's npsexpo.com.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues no matter matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
And the winner of fallback pricing is you. The results are in from Freeze Dry Guy's You Be the Boss, Tell Us What You Want Us to Put on Sale campaign. After getting phone calls, emails, blog, and Facebook comments nominating your favorite freeze-dried foods and dehydrated foods, you the people, you the bosses have spoken. We the staff at Freeze Dry Guy have listened, as we've done since 1970. So now, one item and one entire line of food are on special sale until the end of October. The entire line of popular non-GMO and gluten-free foods are 20% off. The Family First Responders Kit, loaded with delicious freeze-dried foods like hearty beef stew, lasagna, and mouth-watering strawberries, is roughly 30% off. Go to freezedryguy.com. That's freezedryguy.com to order, or call 866-404-3663, 866-404-FOOD, and make your own deal. Thank you, boss.
It's time for a home security quiz. What effective home security device is smaller than a coffee cup, fakes out burglars into thinking someone is home at your house while you're away, plugs into any wall outlet, is recommended by many police departments, and sells for less than $30? Yes, it's Fake TV. This year, about 1 in every 50 U.S. homes will have a break-in, with burglars usually picking the easy target, a dark house that looks like no one is home. Fake TV is a small electronic security device that makes it look like someone is home watching TV by simulating the light from a real TV. Fake TV could be the difference between coming home to a secure house or one that's been ransacked. To get your Fake TV for only $29.95 with free shipping, go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388, or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Hello, I'm Steve Shank. Everybody's heard the statement that what you don't know can't hurt you. But truth is, what you don't know is the only thing that can hurt you. For example, you might not know how our country's wars can hurt you. Japanese radiation and the Gulf oil spill are destroying your seafood. People don't understand how America's 50-year worst drought is hurting them. Our natural disaster experience has proven relief organizations can't take care of the victims. And there's the huge question of how the government will feed all the people that it's promised to feed with no food. What if we made the whole country into one big neighborhood where we take care of each other by taking care of ourselves? Here's the plan. For every new ePack 60-day food supply that you order, eFoods Direct will send a 7-day food supply to each of 2 families in your name, free of charge. Go to eFoodsDirect.com or call 800-876-0871. 800-876-0871. eFoodsDirect.com.
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN. Great talk radio starts here.
All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Our number 855-660-4261. We do have a couple lines open for you. Try to get on board early so we can get to as many calls as possible. For you guys who want to check out some longevity products, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and take a look at our shopping cart. We got all the longevity products up there. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. 866-735-2470, and ask them about joining the Brightside Ben team. For a one-time $10 fee, you can enjoy all the benefits associated with having your own business, including tax write-offs and writing off some of your sample products, writing off your home office. You can help spread the word about the power and importance of nutritional supplementation and make some money, too. You can also just get your products at the wholesale price, all for a one-time $10 fee, and they can tell you all about that at 866-735-2470. That's the Brightside Ben phone team. All right, time to hit our phones. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about skin peptides. We'll talk about, finish up talking about Matrixyl, and then we'll talk about some of the other peptides that you can get, skincare peptides, and then we'll also, hopefully we'll get to talk about enzymes as well. And you know what? Tomorrow we got a guest. We're going to talk to Dr. Christopher Moore about breakfast and the importance or not importance, or relevance or non-relevance of making sure that you get a good breakfast. That'll be tomorrow on The Bright Side. Time to hit our phones. 855-660-4261 is our number. Karen in Ohio, welcome to The Bright Side.
Hi, yeah, I talked to you yesterday about my father with bone cancer.
Oh, yes.
And you were going to follow up and tell me some more things to do.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of pain with the, the painkillers are not helping. And
I'm sure. How old is he?
And he's 75.
Okay. Do you know anything about the bone cancer? Is like what kind of bone cancer it is?
They're trying to find out where it came from. They suspect the prostate, but they're not sure yet. They're going to do an abdominal scan this week.
Okay. So they think it's a metastasis. It's not a primary. It's not
right.
a primary. Okay. So here's the deal with all cancers, and I don't like necessarily focusing on bone cancer or prostate cancer or skin cancer as much as you want to focus on cancer. Cancer is caused by cells that have learned how to survive. They're survivor cells. They've learned how to survive under conditions of toxicity, under conditions of starvation, and especially under conditions of suffocation. A cancer cell is an opportunistic cell that learns to thrive in horrible conditions, horrible cell conditions. It has to have an opportunity to survive, to thrive. So what we got to do is we got to get rid of that opportunity. The way you deal with cancer is you take care of the environment that the cancer cell's surviving in. Now, by the time somebody's gone into metastases and gone into bone cancer and 75 years old, it's going to be a little bit trickier because you got a lot of work to do. So first and foremost, you might want to start working on treatments that can intervene with the growth and the proliferation of the cancer cell, and there's a bunch. I like sodium bicarbonate for one. Sodium bicarbonate, intravenous sodium bicarbonate is one thing you can do. Is your dad up for intravenous kind of things? Because there's a lot you could do if he's going to go IV.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give you some intravenous. And this is really the way you want to deal with cancer when you have an emergency condition or an acute condition and you don't have time to waste. Intravenous sodium bicarbonate, that's one strategy. Intravenous vitamin C, that's another strategy. Both of these can be very effective, especially the vitamin C, by the way. You might want to Google cancer and intravenous vitamin C, or cancer and intravenous sodium bicarb, for that matter. And then also intravenous nutrition. That is nutrients that can help the body, the immune system, that can help the body and the immune system fight the cancer. Intravenous glutathione. We've talked about glutathione in the past, and we will talk about glutathione here in the next few days because glutathione is a peptide. And it's the body's most important cancer-fighting peptide. You can't really take glutathione supplements because your stomach will digest it as it digests all proteins and peptides. So you can't really get glutathione supplements, but you can sure get glutathione intravenous. And if I had cancer, first thing I would do is get some intravenous glutathione on a regular basis. You can also use something called the Myers cocktail, which is an intravenous blend of magnesium, the B complex, and I think there's some vitamin C in there as well. So those are for emergencies. The next thing you're going to want to do is now restore the environment of the body back to health so cancer can't survive. So step number one is to use the emergency measures, the intravenous sodium bicarb, intravenous vitamin C, intravenous Myers cocktail. There's also oral nutrients you can take. Selenium is wonderfully anti-cancer. OPC selenium, maybe 600 micrograms a day of that might be a nice strategy for you. Vitamin E's got anti-cancer effects too, 400 international units of vitamin E a day, and vitamin E and selenium work together. Then there's restoring the environment of the body back to its pristine and healthy state, and there's lots of ways to do that. Oxygen, breathing oxygen, deep breathing techniques are very important. Cancer hates oxygen. A cancer cell is basically a cell that doesn't have oxygen, has learned to survive without oxygen, so making sure that you got enough oxygen through deep breathing techniques, that is breathing oxygen in and blowing toxicity and carbon dioxide and acid out. So practicing deep breathing techniques. You can also use hyperbaric oxygen chambers. And I'm not sure, where are you? You're in Kansas, ma'am? Where are you? You're in Ohio?
St. Louis.
You're in St. Louis?
He's in St. Louis.
Google, see if there's any hyperbaric oxygen chambers or hyperbaric oxygen treatments that you can use in St. Louis somewhere. That might be something else to think about. And then another strategy for cancer is starving the cancer. That is caloric restriction with adequate nutrition, keeping your calories down but making sure you're getting enough nutrients. That's why a supplement program can be so helpful, is because you can get your nutrients without having to worry about the calories. The less calories he eats, low calories are going to do a couple things. Reducing calories will do a couple things. Number one, it'll reduce inflammation and will strengthen the immune system. Every time we eat, our immune system has to go into action to kind of filter out the food and protect us from whatever we ate. So the more you eat, the more work you're giving your immune system to do, and you already got a stressed out immune system with cancer. So less calories, making sure that you're getting your nutrients, that's another very important strategy for dealing with cancer. And then keeping the lymphatic system moving around. The lymphatic system is where cancer is cleared out of the body. Making sure that he's doing a little bit of exercise, getting on he's 75. I don't know if he's going to want to do a rebounder, but even a brisk walk can do it. Is he moving around?
No, he can hardly walk.
He can hardly walk.
Fine, yeah.
Is he in a wheelchair or anything?
No.
Well, you know what? If he can hardly walk and he's just sedentary, even have him stand up and sit down. Standing up and sitting down is enough of an exercise for some folks. So stand up. If he's in a sitting position, have him stand up real slowly and sit down, even if he does it once or twice. Anything he could do to improve his lymphatic circulation is going to improve cancer. So you got lots of things there, but the one thing you want to be very careful of is chemotherapy. Unless it's an emergency, and I don't know if it is or not, it might be, but if it's not an emergency, chemotherapy kills you. It kills your cells. So you may get rid of the cancer, but it seems like a really miserable way to have to deal with cancer, unless, of course, you have an acute case and it's an emergency condition, and then you might need chemotherapy. But if you can avoid it, it's best avoided. And trying some of these strategies may help, especially the intravenous nutrition and the intravenous bicarb and the hyperbaric oxygen.
Okay, you also talked about vitamin K recently for cancer.
Yes, vitamin K is super. It might be, but it'll definitely be helpful. I don't want to say it's going to be curative, but it'll definitely be helpful. Look, the Mighty 90, which includes vitamin K and vitamin D and vitamin E and vitamin C, all the nutrients we talk about, they're not optional. They're essential. By definition, that means you got to have them. So, yes, they're absolutely helpful, and lack of these nutrients is not helpful. But I don't want you to think, I'm going to take vitamin K, my cancer will go away. You want to think, I'm going to take vitamin K, or my dad will take vitamin K, and he's going to feel better, and his body will be able to respond to the cancer more effectively. Does that make sense? You see that distinction? It's not like it's curative as much as it gives the body the wherewithal it needs to stay healthy.
Yep, that makes sense. Thanks.
Okay. God bless, Karen. Good luck with everything. Thank you so much for your call. All right, hang tight if you're on the line. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We do have a line open for you at 855-660-4261. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, it's Tom Chenault from The Tom Chenault Show. We are experts in home-based business and residual income. We show people how to make money from their home, either part-time or full-time, and in partnership with Genesis Communication Network, we've organized a team to fight back about people not having money, time, or health. And we need your help. What we want you to do is, if you've got an interest in building an organization to fight back against people taking our money, taking our time, and taking our health, we want to talk to you. All you need to do is call this number, 855-308-8326. Again, all you want to do is call 855-308-8326. You can make a tremendous amount of money and end up fighting for a great cause. Please call us right now.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these specials. A 14 by 21 foot shop for under $6,000 or a 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
An e-cig revolution is sweeping across the country. But is yours American-made? Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig is. Manufactured in Arkansas with 100% USA-sourced ingredients. And when you buy American, you support local jobs. Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig is top quality at an affordable price. The very principle that once drove the American economy. Get great taste with no ash, tar, or smoke. You'll be wondering why you didn't make the change to Vaporeate e-liquid by LeSig a long time ago. LeSig.com has everything you need, for beginners to the advanced vaping enthusiast, with a wide variety of hardware, and also imported e-liquid flavors as well. Plus, LeSig smokes the competition with fast, free, same-day shipping, real people customer service, and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Support our country and become a Vaporeate at LeSig.com. Or call 870-525-1440. 870-525-1440. LeSig e-cigarettes for today's modern smoker.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Bright Side. Shirley in Michigan. What's going on? How can we help you? Shirley?
Hi. Pharmacist Ben. I'm sorry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling. I have a niece, and she has had a severe form of psoriasis for many, many years. When she was younger, they put her in Ann Arbor University to do, different treatments on her free. They just treated her. I guess they didn't know what it was for a long time, and now they're telling her that it has gone to her bones. Now,
so the psoriasis has gone to her bone, or the immune disease has gone to her bone? What did they tell her?
Well, she said the psoriasis. Maybe I don't know if she.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Is it possible?
No, psoriasis is a skin condition. There's different types of psoriasis, but basically stuff grows on top. It looks like stuff is growing on top of the skin. It's really skin cells.
And it itches real bad.
It's miserable. It really is. Is it? Okay, she has like plaques. They're called plaques. They're like bumpy. On top of the skin, right? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. But I don't know.
Super easy to deal with.
She also says that, in other words, that they're treating her for like the
arthritis. Yeah, there's a form of arthritis. Yes, there's a form of arthritis called psoriatic arthritis, which is a blend of psoriasis and arthritis, and that's probably what she's talking about. Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Not so much her bones, but in the joints. It's like in the small joints, the fingers and toes kind of thing. Is that where she's, or maybe the wrists? The smaller joints is usually where it's affected. Bottom line is you're dealing with an immune condition, and you can tell this because the main drugs they give you for psoriasis are drugs that shut down the immune system. Yesterday I got a little ticked off when I was talking about drugs that shut down the heart and drugs that shut down the circulatory system. That's how they treat heart disease, and that's how physicians treat heart disease. That's how physicians treat hypertension. They poison the heart and they poison the blood, or the circulatory system. Now, just as dumb as that strategy is, treating an immune condition by poisoning the immune system is just as stupid, maybe even dumber, because you need the immune system to protect you. So she's probably on prednisone, or she's probably on, if she's got some cash, she's probably on one of the more expensive biologic drugs, which suppress the immune system in a more high-tech fashion. But the point is that you're getting a prescription that shuts down the immune system because obviously clearly, if they give you a drug that shuts down the immune system to treat your psoriasis, the problem is a hyperactive immune system. Does that make sense, Shirley?
Okay.
Psoriasis is, it's kind of weird because you look at the plaque and you say, well, what's that got to do with my immune system? Everything. What happens is skin cells grow from the bottom of the skin to the top of the skin where we observe it. And as we said before, this process of cells growing and dividing, rising to the top is extremely complicated. Lots of things have to go right for this to occur. We take it for granted. Our skin, most of us don't have any problems with our skin. And we don't even know that cells are rising to the top on a nanosecond to nanosecond basis. And there's all kinds of chemistry that's going on for this to occur. If you have some kind of defensive response that's leading to microinflammation, and I'm not talking about the kind of inflammation where you get a black eye or a swollen ankle. I'm talking about microscopic inflammation, which means microscopic immune activity. The cells are not going to divide correctly, and they're going to start to grow really fast. In fact, psoriasis can be thought of as a type of cancer. There's a lot of things that psoriasis have in common with cancer. You've got cells that are going nuts, cells that are going crazy. They're growing really, really fast. They're not growing in the organized fashion that skin cells are supposed to grow in. They're growing in this disorganized fashion. They're not getting a chance to mature, and you end up with these dead cells on the surface piling up, and that's what causes the plaques. And you can have them on the fingernails, you can have them in the skin, you can have them in the joints. It can happen anywhere, really, but the problem is the immune system. Immune. That's all you need to know to treat this thing. Okay? So they say, well, what? So how do I treat it? Well, the immune system is the defense system. When you have the immune system active, you have a defensive response. Does that make sense so far, Shirley?
Okay.
Okay. So then the question when you have a defensive response is, what is my body defending itself from? What's causing the defensive response? What is the offensive agent that's causing the defensive response? And as we said so many times, and I don't want to bore you, Shirley, or anybody listening, but it's just got to repeat it, got to say it again. If you have an offending agent, there's only three places the offending agent can get into the body. It can get into the body through the nose. You can breathe it in. That hardly ever happens. Maybe if you have asthma or you have some kind of weird respiratory problem, that might be the case, but that's probably not the case with your niece. The second thing is an offending agent can get into the body through the blood, or through the skin, but that would require a burn or a cut or a scrape of some kind of opening into the blood. That rarely happens. The skin is typically intact. That leaves the one part of the body where 80% of your immune system is located, and that means food. Now, I will tell you this, ma'am. How old is your niece, by the way?
She's like in her mid-50s.
Okay, so she's an adult. Okay, I will tell you this with 100% certainty. I would bet my house on this if I had a house. But if I don't have one. But if I had one, I would bet it. She's got some kind of long-standing digestive problem. She has to. There's no way she cannot. And I'm not psychic. I'm telling you this because it's how the body works. You put food in the body, it doesn't get processed correctly. We've spent so much time talking about this in the past, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but you put stuff in the body, it doesn't get processed correctly, forms little peptides, they get into the blood, the immune system becomes activated. Once the immune system becomes activated, all kinds of cellular dysfunction can arise. But that's such good news. If she just fasted, all right? If she just fasted, she would notice a dramatic result. Just for 3 days, she would notice improvement.
How do you call fasting? What type of fasting are you
Not eating, not putting anything in her mouth, period, for a couple of days anyway. Maybe some Beyond Tangerine.
What about liquid?
Water, yes, water for a couple of days. Now, if she really is miserable with her fasting, have her do bone soup or maybe some BTT just to get some nutrients in there. But if she can fast completely, she'll, just as an experiment, just to test it out, test out the hypothesis, she'll notice results. Because the immune system will start to quiet down once she stops putting food in, especially if it's problem foods. Now, second thing she wants to do is link up her digestive symptoms, bowel movement problems, constipation, diarrhea, loose stool, gas, whatever, to specific foods and then eliminate those foods. The third thing she wants to do is get herself on the ultimate enzymes from longevity, use apple cider vinegar, use the Z-radical. These are all strategies for improving digestive health. Use the Z-radical, lecithin, pancreatic pancreatic enzymes, pancreatin, betaine HCl, bile salts, especially fatty digestive supplements that help the fatty part of the body. Things like bile salts and lecithin. The amino acid taurine may help. The amino acid glutamine may help. I'm sorry, go ahead. EFAs are always good, but they're not. I don't want to bombard her with a lot of stuff. We want to get this, do this kind of sequentially.
Yeah,
not that EFAs are not important. They're very, very important.
Taking a ton of medication. She has a heart problem.
Well, that's not going to help because that's just going to put a greater burden on the body. You know what? Why don't you call back tomorrow with a list of her medications? Can you do that?
Okay, I'll try.
Try to get her medications, and we'll talk about that. But the medications are just going to put an added burden on an already stressed-out system, and they're not going to help. Are her drugs helping her, Shirley? Or is she taking her medicine and now she has no psoriasis any longer? No, she's getting worse. So I know she's desperate, but this is the craziness of how we treat our diseases. Got to move on, Shirley. I'd love it if you could either write or call back tomorrow with some medication, and I'll give you a little bit more help. I hope I helped you. Okay. All right? Thank you so much. Anytime you're on a drug that suppresses the immune system, by definition, that means your health condition is an immune problem. If you have an immune problem, that means you want to focus on what is getting into the body that's activating the defensive response, which is what the immune response is. It's as simple as that. Now, you're also going to need to protect or support the immune system as well. Oh, and by the way, Shirley, vitamin D can be very helpful for psoriasis. Getting her out in the sun can be helpful, or also using vitamin D supplements, and also zinc can be helpful for psoriasis. Topical zinc oxide as well as 50 milligrams a day of zinc. I forgot to mention that. And, of course, probiotics for the digestive system. The Nightly Essence from Longevity is an awesome probiotic. Bill, I could take you real quick, or we can get you tomorrow because we only have about a minute. Bill in Texas.
Ben, my wife has lower back pain, continues to get worse. The doctor did an x-ray. She has hypertrophy of L5-S1.
Okay. She's got swelling.
Solution.
She's got swelling. Hypertrophy just means growth of cells. Cells are getting bigger. She's got some swelling and inflammation going on. A couple things you're going to want to do. Number one, as always, focus on what is causing the activation of the inflammatory system. Why is there inflammation? And focus on foods. Use digestive enzymes, probiotics, all the nutritional stuff we just talked about with Shirley. You can also try vitamin E, which is wonderfully anti-inflammatory. I'd be using 400 international units a day. Glucosamine can be very helpful for all back and cartilage issues. You get on the glucogel caps. Use the digestive enzymes on an empty stomach to take advantage of their anti-inflammatory properties as well. And don't forget about good old vitamin C and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Sorry, Bill, we just flat out of time, but you're welcome to call back tomorrow. We'll pick you first up. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back on the bright side tomorrow, and I'm going to be on Alex Jones' show today if you guys want to give that a listen. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome, wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.